Think you know your history? Some of these leaders changed the world forever, and a few answers might totally shock you. Let's see how sharp you really are. Question 1. Who was the first president of the United States? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Abraham Lincoln. The answer is George Washington. Question 2. Which British Prime Minister led the United Kingdom during most of World War II? Winston Churchill, Neville Chamberlain, Margaret Thatcher, Tony Blair. The answer is Winston Churchill. Question 3. Who was the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Theresa May, Margaret Thatcher, Angela Merkel, Indira Gandhi. The answer is Margaret Thatcher. Question 4. Which South African leader spent 27 years in prison before becoming president? Thabo Mbeki, Nelson Mandela, Jacob Zuma, Desmond Tutu. The answer is Nelson Mandela. Question 5. Who was the first emperor of Rome? Julius Caesar Nero, Augustus Caligula. The answer is Augustus. Question 6. Which French leader crowned himself emperor in 1804? Louis XVI, Napoleon Bonaparte, Charles de Gaulle, Robespierre. The answer is Napoleon Bonaparte. Question 7. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during the Cuban Missile Crisis? Joseph Stalin, Leonid Brezhnev, Nikita Khrushchev, Vladimir Lenin. The answer is Nikita Khrushchev. Question 8. Which U.S. president issued the Emancipation Proclamation? Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Johnson, Franklin D. Roosevelt. The answer is Abraham Lincoln. Question 9. Who was the first Chancellor of Germany after reunification in 1990? Angela Merkel, Helmut Kohl, Gerhard Schroeder, Otto von Bismarck. The answer is Helmut Kohl. Question 10. Which Indian leader was known as Mahatma? Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhas Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi, Indira Gandhi. The answer is Mahatma Gandhi. Question 11. Who was the longest reigning monarch in British history before Queen Elizabeth II surpassed the record? Queen Victoria, King George III, King Henry VIII, Queen Anne. The answer is Queen Victoria. Question 12. Which U.S. president resigned from office in 1974? Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Lyndon B. Johnson. The answer is Richard Nixon. Question 13. Who was the first president of independent Ghana? Kwame Nkrumah, Jerry Rawlings, Kofi Annan, John Mahama. The answer is Kwame Nkrumah. Question 14. Which Russian leader introduced the policies of glasnost and perestroika? Boris Yeltsin, Mikhail Gorbachev, Vladimir Putin, Joseph Stalin. The answer is Mikhail Gorbachev. Question 15. Who was the first president of the People's Republic of China? Mao Zedong, Sun Yat-sen, Deng Xiaoping, Chiang Kai-shek. The answer is Mao Zedong. All right, pause right there. How are you doing so far? Be honest. Are you ruling this quiz like an emperor or barely surviving a political coup? Type your score in the comments right now. I want to see how you're doing. Welcome back, History Champion. Let's continue your march through time. Question 16. Who was the first president of the United States to appear on television? Harry S. Truman, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy. The answer is Franklin D. Roosevelt. Question 17. Which Egyptian leader nationalized the Suez Canal in 1956? Anwar Sadat, Gamal Abdel Nasser, Hosni Mubarak, King Farouk. The answer is Gamal Abdel Nasser. Question 18. Who was the first female Prime Minister of India? Sonia Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, Pratibha Patil, Sarojini Naidu. The answer is Indira Gandhi. Question 19. Which Roman leader was famously assassinated on the Ides of March? Augustus, Julius Caesar, Marcus Aurelius, Tiberius. The answer is Julius Caesar. Question 20. Who was the first president of Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union? Vladimir Putin, Mikhail Gorbachev, Boris Yeltsin, Dmitry Medvedev. The answer is Boris Yeltsin. Question 21. Which U.S. president served 4 terms in office? Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, Harry S. Truman. The answer is Franklin D. Roosevelt. Question 22. Who was the first emperor of China? Kublai Khan, Qin Shi Huang, Sun Yat-sen, Emperor Wu. The answer is Qin Shi Huang. Question 23. Which British monarch was on the throne during the American Revolution? Queen Victoria, King George III, King George II, King William IV. The answer is King George III. Question 24. Who led Cuba during the Cuban Revolution? Che Guevara, Fulgencio Batista, Fidel Castro, Raul Castro. The answer is Fidel Castro. Question 25. Which German leader was known as the Iron Chancellor? Kaiser Wilhelm II, Adolf Hitler, Helmut Kohl, Otto von Bismarck. The answer is Otto von Bismarck. Question 26. Who was the first democratically elected president of South Africa? F.W. de Klerk, Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki, Cyril Ramaphosa. The answer is Nelson Mandela. Question 27. Which U.S. president purchased Alaska from Russia? James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant. The answer is Andrew Johnson. Question 28. Who was the first female chancellor of Germany? Angela Merkel, Ursula von der Leyen, Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, Hannelore Kraft. The answer is Angela Merkel. Question 29. Which Ottoman leader captured Constantinople in 1453? Suleiman the Magnificent, Mehmed II, Selim Bayezid I. The answer is Mehmed II. Question 30. Who was the first president of Nigeria? Nnamdi Azikiwe, Olusegun Obasanjo, Yakubu Gowon, Goodluck Jonathan. The answer is Nnamdi Azikiwe. Okay. Checkpoint time again. How are you doing now? Still standing strong like a seasoned ruler? Or did a few trick questions sneak past your defenses? Drop your score in the comments. I'm watching. Let's see who's truly fit to govern history. This is it. The final stretch. 20 more questions between you and total historical glory. Let's finish strong. Question 31. Who was the first president of the United States to be impeached? Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, Richard Nixon, Donald Trump. The answer is Andrew Johnson. Question 32. Which leader was known as the Lady of the Lamp? Queen Victoria, Florence Nightingale, Catherine the Great, Indira Gandhi. The answer is Florence Nightingale. Question 33. Who was the first king of England after the Norman conquest in 1066? Henry III, William the Conqueror, Richard the Lionheart, Edward I. The answer is William the Conqueror. Question 34. Which U.S. president led the country during the Great Depression? Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Calvin Coolidge. The answer is Franklin D. Roosevelt. Question 35. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? Justin Trudeau, John A. Macdonald, Pierre Trudeau, Lester B. Pearson. The answer is John A. MacDonald. Question 36. Which ancient Greek leader was a student of Plato and teacher of Alexander the Great? Socrates, Aristotle, Pericles, Leonidas. The answer is Aristotle. Question 37. Who was the first female president of Brazil? Dilma Rousseff, Cristina Fernandez, Michelle Bachelet, Jair Bolsonaro. The answer is Dilma Rousseff. Question 38. Which Japanese emperor reigned during World War II? Emperor Meiji, Emperor Taisho, Emperor Hirohito, Emperor Akihito. The answer is Emperor Hirohito. Question 39. Who was the first president of Kenya? Uhuru Kenyatta, Daniel Arap Moi Jomo Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki. The answer is Jomo Kenyatta. Question 40. Which French president founded the Fifth Republic? Emmanuel Macron, François Mitterrand, Charles de Gaulle, Jacques Chirac. The answer is Charles de Gaulle. Question 41. Who was the first president of Pakistan? Imran Khan, Pervez Musharraf, Iskander Mirza, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. The answer is Iskander Mirza. Question 42. Which U.S. president authorized the use of atomic bombs in 1945? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Harry S. Truman, John F. Kennedy. The answer is Harry S. Truman. Question 43. Who was the first female president of Liberia? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Joyce Banda, Winnie Mandela, Amina Gurib Fakim. The answer is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Question 44. Which Spanish dictator ruled from 1939 to 1975? Francisco Franco, Benito Mussolini, Antonio Salazar, Juan Carlos I. The answer is Francisco Franco. Question 45. Who was the first president of Turkey? Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, Süleyman Demirel, Abdullah Gül. The answer is Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Question 46. Which U.S. president served immediately before Abraham Lincoln? James Buchanan, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, Andrew Johnson. The answer is James Buchanan. Question 47. Who was the first emperor of the French? Louis XIV, Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon III, Charles V. The answer is Napoleon Bonaparte. Question 48. Which leader was known as the Iron Lady of Asia? Indira Gandhi, Corazon Aquino, Benazir Bhutto, Aung San Suu Kyi. The answer is Indira Gandhi. Question 49. Who was the first president of the European Commission? Jean-Claude Juncker, Ursula von der Leyen, Walter Hallstein, Jacques Delors. The answer is Walter Hallstein. Question 50. Which ancient Macedonian king created one of the largest empires of the ancient world? Philip II, Alexander the Great, Darius III, Cyrus the Great. The answer is Alexander the Great. And that's 50. First of all, well done. You showed up. That already puts you ahead of most people. If you scored around 10, you are officially a history explorer. You are curious and just getting started. If you scored around 20, you are a timeline traveler. You know your way around major world events. If you scored around 30, you are a power player of the past. Leaders would consult you. If you scored around 40, you are a grand historian. Your knowledge commands respect. If you scored 45 or more, you are a supreme ruler of trivia. History bows to you. Drop your final score in the comments. I want to see those titles claimed. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another challenge. There are plenty more quizzes waiting for you. Click on the next video and prove you are brighter than most. Go on, I dare you.